Hello students, this is Amarati, your tribology teacher. Well, in the last video lecture, we have completed your second unit, that is friction and wear. We have seen many simple things like theories of wear, theories of friction and many things. So in today's video lecture, we are going to start your third unit. Okay, that is hydrodynamic lubrication. Well, in this one, before starting any unit, you must see what are the syllabus we are going to study, because you are going to study the whole damn unit. So in this one, we just start with the theory of what is hydrodynamic lubrication, what is that mechanism of pressure development in oil film. Then two-dimensional Reynolds equation we are going to see. We are going to solve the Petrov equation for this hydrodynamic lubrication process or hydrodynamic journal bearing. And pressure development in long and short journal bearings. How the load is going to carry in this one, and what is the load carrying capacity, Sommerfeld number and it's important, along with many numericals on Reynolds equation, Petrov's equation, load carrying capacity and Sommerfeld numbers we are going to solve. Along with that, finally, the introduction part to hydrodynamic thrust bearing we are going to see. Okay. So in the first one, we go like this with the theory of hydrodynamic lubrication. Well, you are seeing the hydrodynamic journal bearing here. In hydrodynamic lubrication, the load supporting high pressure fluid film is created due to the shape and relative motion between the two surfaces. Due to the shape and relative motion between the two surfaces, the moving surface is going to pull the lubricant into a wedge-shaped zone at a velocity which is sufficiently very high to create the high pressure fluid film. And that high pressure fluid film is enough to separate the two surfaces against the load. What are those two surfaces? The journal surface and the bearing surface, inner bearing surfaces. Okay, so here what happens exactly? We have a moving surface, and this moving surface is going to pull the lubricant in a wedge shaped zone at a velocity which is enough, which is sufficiently high to create the high pressure fluid film necessary to separate the two surfaces against the load. Well, you can see, in the left side, figure A, we have journal at rest. Well, you can see there is O and there is O1. What is O? That is the center of the bearing. And what is O1? That is the center of the journal. And W, which is pulling down, is the weight on the journal. And the difference between O and O1 is the E, that is eccentricity. When journals start rotating, well, you can see O1 shifts to left side. When it is moving counterclockwise, O1 is going to shift somewhere. And at the journal rest, we have a point of contact between journal and bearing is A. Okay. When journal starts rotating, we have a point of contact between journal and bearing is B. Okay. And when journal is at a full speed, we are going to have a converging wedge shaped zone, that is the lubricant zone. Okay, so this figure shows the principle of working of the hydrodynamic journal bearing. Well, I said initially, when the journal that is the shaft is at rest, it makes the contact with the bearing and at the lowest point at A because of the load W. When journals start rotating in anti-clockwise direction, it is going to climb the bearing surface and contact is made at point B. Well, in the figure B, you can see it. When journal is at full speed, as the speed of the journal is further increased, the lubricant is pulled into the wedge-shaped region and it is going to force the journal to the other side. The converging wedge-shaped film between the point C and D. Well, you can see here we have in the third figure we have a point C and D supports the journal. So in the hydrodynamic bearings, it is not necessary to supply the lubricant under pressure. We are not in a need to supply the lubricant under pressure, so we can lift the shaft. Here it is not necessary. The only requirement is to ensure the sufficient and enough and continuous supply of the lubricant, because due to the rotation of the shaft itself, the we are going to form a converging wedge shaped zone of the lubricant between the shaft and journal, while it is going to create the pressure which is sufficiently enough to lift the shaft and the load on the shaft. So this is about the theory of hydrodynamic lubrication. Well, let's see what are the advantages, limitations and applications of the hydrodynamic lubrication process. While in the advantage, these are very simple in construction and easy to maintain. Simple because we are not using any supply system here. We are not using any supply of the lubricants. So it is simple in construction and easy to maintain. And they have very low initial as well as maintenance cost. Initial maintenance cost, and also the maintenance cost is also low for the whole lifetime. And they do not require any equipments like pump. I said, like we aren't using any supply of the lubricant, so we are not in a need of any auxiliary equipments like pumps. And they are reliable. Yes, they are reliable. And they have low power loss. The loss of the power is very less. So these are the advantages of the hydrodynamic bearing. While in the limitations comes, in the limitations, they cannot be used for low speed applications, because in the in the low speed we cannot produce so high pressure which is necessary to maintain a gap between shaft and the journal. Okay, so they cannot be used for low speed applications as well as extremely high speed applications also. Extremely high speed applications also we cannot use. And they have high frictional loss at low speeds. When we are having a less speed, the frictional loss is very high. And they have very poor positional accuracy. If you consider the accuracy in the positional way, hydrodynamic bearings offers poor positional accuracy. And they offer high starting frictions. Yes, starting friction, that's why we have a frictional loss at low speeds. Okay, so this fluid film breaks during the starting and stopping of the machine. Hence they are not suitable where there are frequent starts and stoppages. There are some machines or there are some bearings where we are having the frequent starts and stoppages. So there it is not suitable, because there is a fluid film breaks during starting and stoppage of the films. So these are the limitations of the hydrodynamic lubrication process. So in the applications, hydrodynamic bearings are used in IC engines, large centrifugal pumps also, hydraulic turbines, and many guideways of the machine tools and etc. We use applications or we use hydrodynamic bearings. Okay. So next comes is your, let's see, the mechanism of pressure development in hydrodynamic lubrication. Well, I said there is a pressure development between the shaft and the bearing because of the wedge shaped development of the film, right? So let's see how the pressure is developed in the hydrodynamic lubrication. Okay. Well, in the first one, in the mechanism, the mechanism of pressure development for load carrying capacity in a hydrodynamic lubrication can be understood by considering two flat surfaces. Okay, two flat surfaces with relative motion, and it is separated by a fluid film. Well, first comes we consider the first one is two parallel surfaces which are separated by fluid films, just fluid films, nothing else. Okay. Let's consider two parallel and flat surfaces separated by a viscous fluid film of constant thickness. Well, you can see we have a constant thickness of H. Okay. So the width of the surfaces, the perpendicular to the plane of the paper, the width of these surfaces is very large. Okay, so that the side leakages can be neglected, and the flow can be considered to be one dimensional. Like you can see in the picture, we have two parallel surfaces separated by fluid film. Okay, while the upper surface is moving with a velocity u and parallel to the lower stationary surface. Well, it is written here, the upper surface is moving with a velocity u. Why we are considering the upper surface which is moving? Because the journal which moves, because it has a rotation, and we considered here is the surface is moving with a velocity of u. Okay, large capital U, which is parallel to the lower stationary surface. And we consider there is no slip condition here. The velocity of the fluid varies linearly from 0 at the lower surface to u at the upper surface.